Yesterday, we started off that conversation about a corps member that was brutalized by some men of Agunichimba, a security outfit in Anambra State. And yesterday, we also had a conversation with the SA to the Governor of Internal Security, who explained their position, as well as the PPR of the Nigerian Police Force in Anambra State. Everybody agreed to the effect that this was heinous, this was reckless, unprofessional, irresponsible, and pure abuse of human rights and abuse of power. However I look at it in dimensions, those gentlemen should never have their way into any outfits at all called security, because they are not fit in any sense of the word to handle gun or secure anyone, because they dropped the ball to a point where they should not even be allowed to pick it up again because of the extent they went in assaulting an unarmed corps member. You know, corps members are considered federal government property. But she's a lady, she's vulnerable, yet that did not restrain their anger, whatever it is they were trying to achieve in brutalizing that lady. But we've heard from those sides. We want to hear from the side of the lady, and our lawyer joins us. Cyrus Onu is a lawyer to the victim. Mr. Onu, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning to you.
I want to presume that you listened to the conversation we had yesterday with the essay to the governor, as well as the PPR of the Nigerian Police Force in Anambra State. Perhaps I would like you to review and maybe contextualize some of the things that the government representative said yesterday as far as that incident is concerned. The lady you're representing, I'm sure she has told you the story of how things got to where they got to and escalated rather quickly, because the man yesterday was saying, the essay was saying yesterday that, look, they were chasing cultists, they made their way into the compound and, you know, going on and on and on. What is the story from the girl's end, or the lady's end, I should say?
All right, again, thank you very much, and I really want to thank channels and every other media outlet that has really shed light into this horrible event. As you said, rightly noted, I had the privilege to listen and watch the interview from you had with the special advisor to the governor on community security matters, and of course the police PPR. It's quite unfortunate they would twist the facts as it happened, the facts, and try to make them play this whole thing. But as you said, the lady in question, and not just the lady, they all six of the coppers, I represent them, and the story is consistent, and they have video evidence to that effect. On that very day, they were in their lodge, charging their devices, and two of them were teachers marking scripts and doing their school assignments, where these men suddenly, they were barging on the door. And Jennifer in question was trying to open the door, and they just kicked the door in, kicked the door and bashed in, and it almost hit her face. And everybody was scared. These are very, very young people. They were scared. And these men in question were masked. Most of them were masked on mufti with guns. So you could imagine how scared these young kids were. They were trying to inquire, who are you guys, please? Who are you? Why would you just barge into the door? And they said, who are you? All of you, come with us. And they were trying to inquire, who are you people? They wouldn't identify themselves. They didn't give any identification. And they were just saying, come down, come with us, come to us. You're all thieves, you're all Yahoo people. What are you people doing here? Come with us. And they were trying to identify themselves that, we are not Yahoo people. Well, we don't know what you're talking about. We are coppers. They brought their ID cards. They were even showing them, because of course it was their room, and they were showing them their uniform and documents and all of those things. And they said, it's not possible we just make up these things. We are actually coppers, and this is a coppers lodge. They wouldn't get anything, they wouldn't get any of it, and they're trying to push them. And of course, at the end of the day, when they're trying to drag them downstairs, one of the, especially Jennifer, said this was why they actually pounced on her, As she insisted that if you must take us, they had to seize their gadgets. In the act, it was like a raid. They took their gadgets, their phones, and all of those things. And Jennifer was insisting that, please, if you must take us anywhere, would you allow us to call our LGI? Because we don't know who you are. We're not sure of who you really are, and we don't know where you're taking us to. Can you please extend us the courtesy to call our LGI? She said, I will not leave here until you let me call my LGI. And this started molesting her. And of course, one of them met one of the guys and said, "Where this now you do this kind of things, even though people are coppers, now you try to say you can settle. It's not like that. People just rule peace. You know that kind of those kind of language. It means to extort them." But they would not have any of that. And they said, "Okay, please let us call our agent. Our coppers, we don't have money. We don't have money. So let us call our agent. I'm sure this whole thing will be resolved if it's money or something you're looking for." But Jennifer kept insisting that we will not live here. I personally will not live here until you allow me call my AGI. And that's when they started pouncing on her. And they made comments, derogatory comments that, "Who are you to speak? You're even a girl." Some of which was spoken in Igbo language. "You're even a lady to who gives you the right to speak to us and to speak to us." And they started beating her. And so she said, "Okay, please let me change it to something appropriate. Let me put on pants. Let me put on pants, trousers. What I'm putting on is not too nice. I don't even know where I'm going to." And they said, "Oh, that thing you're trying to cover, we will see today. We will molest you, we will beat you up, we will rape you, kill you and dump you, and nobody could say anything." That is what they said. Nobody can say anything. So it was really, really terrible. And that's how they pounced on her. You see, if you noticed, it's quite sad because one of them was in the bathroom where they barged into the room and they were not able to get his own phone. So this guy was the guy that was able to record them. Now, if you noticed, these guys were so passionate, they were so into the molestation and the harassment of this girl that they couldn't even notice that somebody very close to them was taking video. So let you know how evil, how intentional, how deliberate they were in molesting this young lady. And while they were doing that, some of the guys, there are about four guys there, they tried to intervene to say, please. And if you know, another part of the video, which was uploaded by the Haven 360 Foundation, they've been immensely helpful in this matter. And you could see that one of the guys were like trying to say, "Please, will you please stop? That's a girl, will you stop?" And they cocked the gun at him. And one of them chased him with gun. One of the security operatives chased him with gun and said, "If anybody else speaks, if anybody talks, they are going to kill the person." So it was only one particular girl. There's another lady who was now insisting that, "Please, she's a lady, please, she's a lady." And that's why they started attacking her. To they pistol whipped her, used guns on her to whip her, to beat her, to use sticks. You can see on her leg, use sticks on her body, on her lips. One of them even punched her because she was the only lady that wanted to speak out. So it was not even just on this girl, it was on the persons, this Jennifer and this particular girl who spoke out that they dealt with. Now, of course, we have all the videos. For some of them are very, very gory, which we wouldn't want to release to the public now, and we're just following the matter as it goes. We see how it goes. But honestly, you could see it was gory. It was really horrible. It was really, really horrible. Jennifer was absolutely naked. She was stripped naked, dragged in a pool of her own blood into the vehicle. The other guys, they had to follow to see to ensure that she's protected.
So, Mr. Honor,
and that's how they got to their secretariats.
So, we had Mr. Ken Emekai, who's a special advisor to Governor Soludo on community security, on the show yesterday, as you saw yourself. And he was saying, when we asked him, so where are those men? What has been done to them? He said that they have the internal disciplinary mechanism and it's currently ongoing, that the men have been stepped down in some sense. Do you buy any of that? And is that what you expect? Is that really the redress that you're seeking for your client?
Not at all. You see, when they got to the secretariat, this Wobbly, because one of them, I think the police PPR and even Mr. Ken was insinuating or alleging that these girls were not forthcoming. The girl in particular was not forthcoming. That's why they couldn't go on with the investigation. That's not true. That's not true at all. In fact, when they got to the secretariat, these people were still even firing guns in the air to further intimidate them. It was one of the inspectors, the local inspectors that came from the NYC, and okay, please allow them go, and that's how they let them go. The next day, they went to the LGI's office. It was the LGI that invited them. Operatives from, I think officers from this Aguna Chamber vigilante group were there, and they were trying to urge them, give them 10,000 naira, some of them 10,000 naira as hush money. And one of them met one of the girls, Munachim, and I was telling her, you see this whole thing, it's best you guys just lie low, just keep this whole thing, you know how this whole thing can go. In fact, assuming you guys had, was trying to make advances to her to say, you see, assuming you guys don't have, how can you be in this community in Anaba, you don't have one of us as your friend, let me get your number, so I've been following up. Anytime this kind of things happen, it's always good to put calls to one of us who help you. I was not telling them that it's based in Lelu, there's nothing that can be done. They are untouchable. It was by way of advice. So Jennifer then insisted to say, okay, if we're going to let go of this matter, we want to be sure that these persons are arrested. They said, okay, they took them to their the state secretariat, I think, at Oka. They said, okay, these are the guys that are behind counter. Don't worry, we've arrested them, we've prosecuted them, and they're going to jail. You people should just relax. No, don't say anything. The NYC LGI was there, said, don't say anything to anybody, don't worry. In fact, he assisted the security operatives to delete videos, these videos, from their phones. If not that the fact that one of them, Gospel, was fortunate enough was to send these videos to other persons, you understand, before they went to the to that meeting. They had assisted the NYC coordinator, the LGI coordinator, assisted to delete all of these videos. They deleted all the videos, told them that there's nothing they can do about it. They shouldn't worry, that these persons, they've been arrested and they'll be prosecuted. Lo and behold, the next day, these same persons were patrolling the streets. And that was what informed the decision of my client, Jennifer. And a few of them, immediately after the clearance, they've left the city. They left because they told them expressly. One of them, talking to the one making advances to Mona, she told them express that you guys better be careful. Nobody's going to, if you think you're going to make any of us lose our job, we'll come after you. We're a family, we're a unit. We have powers, we have backings, and all of those things. And nothing can really happen. This is not the first time this thing has happened. Do you think anybody, those kind of things like that? These people are not from Anambra State. They are not indigents, so they were scared and they left. And since then, nobody reached out. I know one of them was insinuating or alleging that they've been calling the case, not a single person, not from NYC, not from the Agone Chamber Vigilante Group, not from the police. Nobody reached out to them. When we were briefed, we tried even making contact, but it was all, it's just sad. So the idea of them being prosecuted, if not for the fact that this whole thing came to light, to the public, to the media, we're trying to lay low on this whole thing and to say we can follow this whole thing up. But if I came up to the public, all of those things they're saying, that's not true. That's not true at all. They are not prepared to prosecute. They are not going to prosecute. And of course, that is not the only redress my clients are seeking. Right, there must be consequences for bad behavior. Right, and they would pay damages. My clients are seeking compensatory damages and they will have to pay. All right. The governor will since written petition to the government of Anambra States demanding that this person be prosecuted, who will follow up, and to also ensure compensatory damages. Damages.
Okay, Mr. Honor, I wanted to come to that part where you were making demands. So you maybe because of the interruption, I'll allow you state what exactly you want out of this. One of the questions we threw at the essay to the governor yesterday was the fact that we're having this conversation because there's video evidence. He wanted to argue. I said, no, you allow me land, let me explain. Because if this video was not available, by now it would have been, oh, it happened, it didn't happen, and all of that back and forth. We know how these things play out. But I think the police, without speaking for them, had been having a conversation with the lady, expecting her to come back to Anambra. But I guess she's afraid for her life. Anybody will be afraid, not to talk of a woman in that instant, as far as this is concerned. I've been in a situation as well where I was in a vehicle and the policeman, whether I was drunk or something, this was a very long time ago, say he will shoot and nothing will happen. So we hear also those kinds of rhetorics from some mischievous and disgraceful elements within people who bear arms, who embarrass the institutions that established them. But I want us to walk back a bit. Is she going to, actually, is she done with her service? That's number one question. Have you filed any case in court? Because both the police said they are expecting her. The Agone Chamber, the essay yesterday said they are ready with all the documents that as soon as the lady is ready to press charges, they will go through with it. So has she done with the NYSC? And is she planning to go back? What exactly is the next way forward?
Well, thank you very much. These are really these are valid concerns that are really troubling for, not just for Jennifer, like I said, but there are about 6 others. Jennifer is not done with her service. The others are not done. Maybe just about 2 of them that passed out, I think last month or thereabouts. There is this apprehension of going back to, validly rational fear of going back to Anambra, honestly. You see, I've been on this matter for about over 2 to 3 weeks now with them, and I've been seeing the subtle threats, even from NYC. I'm sorry to say, but I always have to bring it to the fore. I have to bring it to the fore. Even from NYC, oh, you don't get to, you're serving and you don't get to say things, you have to put the service in bad light and all of those things. They are scared. They're not even just scared of coming to Anambra. They are scared for even for their service. For some reason, it shouldn't be extended, reprisal attacks, and all of those things. They are really, really scared. For obvious reasons, we've sent out petitions. We've written petitions to the Anambra state government. The petitions are everywhere. We sent down to the Attorney General of the Federation, to Human Rights Commission. We sent everywhere. And we're demanding that this person to be prosecuted and this person's, of course, compensatory damages. We gave a timeline as allowed by the law. And after that, we'll take all the necessary steps to ensure both civil and criminal, to ensure that these persons are not just prosecuted, but of course, the security outfit itself and the persons in charge, which will be the executive governor of Anambra State, will be made to pay this person's compensation. As I said earlier, there must be consequences for bad behavior. It's not enough. It's not just enough to say, "Oh, we are dismissing them." Oh, please. Who are they telling today? We are in Nigeria. Who are they giving that? That's a cock and bull story, please, for goodness sake. What they do, the other time we had a protest some time ago to abolish SARS. What they probably do, they just rebrand them.
Oh dear, Mr. Cyrus Onu, rather. We've lost connection, sadly, but this doesn't mean this matter is over just yet. These issues will be followed through with to ensure justice for the core member and even the others involved in this as well. So their safety is paramount. They're serving their fatherland. They should be one of the most protected people, being core members. We say colloquially that they are properties of the federal government. So they must be protected. We must ensure justice is done, and this should never repeat itself again. So wherever those men are, there must be prosecution. We must be seen as a society that upholds justice. Whoever you are, you must be able to get justice. But we have to thank Mr. Cyrus Onu, lawyer to the victim. We have to thank you so much for your time. And this is, again, videos, fresh videos actually, that have not been released, that show the moment before the core member was dragged outside, stripped naked, beaten, molested, assaulted in the most wicked manner by those men of Agunechemba. As we hear, those men they've left the city, they've left the town, contrary to what we heard from the government, that they're undergoing, they're undergoing disciplinary measures, rather. Mr. Onu, thankfully we have you back. Let's take your closing thoughts on this. We're just reviewing some of the points that you made earlier.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Also saying, we're demanding compensatory damages, of course, not just criminal prosecutions for these persons. The only way to make persons like this pay, to make them feel, to make them really feel, and but by way of, do we say punitive, some form of punitive damages is to take money from them. That is the truth, and that is what we want to make them do. By the time they start paying, when the government realize that every one of the security men, when you misbehave, when you go outside the scope of your authority, you will cost us huge amounts of money. Then probably somehow everybody will just, maybe some extent, check themselves. You understand? So that is what we are doing. We will apply, as at yesterday, the police PPRO did reach out to my clients, and we will reach out to them. Of course, we will be in Anambra by the grace of God this week, and we'll follow up this matter to ensure that they do carry out the prosecution. We'll make applications for CTC of the, thank God, Mr. Ken said yesterday they have all the file. We're going to make applications to have certified copies of all of those documents, and with which will commence civil proceedings. We hope that this whole thing, we just hope that this serves as a lesson. Every one person comes out to take a stand, even the government of Anambra State, to take a stand against this, and to say, this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen. This is a sane society, a democratic society where the rule of law ought to be paramount, where the rule of law ought to be supreme. This shouldn't happen. And we hope that that message will be so communicated in every way that will serve justice, not just to Jennifer and her colleagues, but of course, to the rest of the public. Let people be safe. We want to feel safe in Anambra and everywhere in Nigeria. We want to be safe. Make us be safe. Thank you very much.
Just before I let you go, Mr. Onu, so if, for instance, you're filing a criminal complaint. So what are the charges you're bringing against them? Breach of fundamental rights? What exactly? Assault? What are they?
Okay, it's not really in our place to bring criminal actions. It's within the purview and the jurisdiction and powers of the police and the Attorney General of Anambra State to bring criminal proceedings. So we will ensure, and thank God for the media, thank God there are a lot of civil rights groups like the Haven 360 Foundation that's been doing marvelously well. They are on top of this matter. They would ensure that we will collectively ensure that the police bring the criminal charges. On our hand, we will bring civil actions, of course, breach of fundamental rights, right to dignity, the right to life, right to freedom of movement, all the fundamentals actually were breached, and of course they will pay for every one of them. So we'll bring civil actions on this regard. Why we follow, we coordinate, monitor, and of course assist and ensure that the police and the state of Anambra commence criminal prosecutions on these men.
All right, fantastic. We promise you we will be on it. Follow up with you to make sure that this comes to a proper logical conclusion, whether it's the police, that is the government this time, through the police filing criminal charges against them, you as the lady as the nominal complainant, or you the lawyer charging civil breach of civil fundamental human rights. Whatever is going on in the court, we will follow with you and ensure that this is properly handled so that nothing is swept under the carpet, as a big lesson to every person who is security outfits, whether institutional or the local one, so that we can build a better society for ourselves and for our children. Thank you so much, Cyrus Onu, the lawyer to the victim, the lady that was assaulted in Anambra in the Demili South local government area. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very grateful. Thank you, everyone.